to 25 points.
That really showed her aggression against the Cavaliers as the Hokies swept the Who's for the second time in a row. Liz Kitley and the Hokies right now 17-4 on the year, 7-4 in the ACC. Going up against Syracuse, Dyaisha Fair and company right now 14-8 and 5-6 in the conference. Ball is in the air, and we are underway with the Orange taking the ball.
Syracuse is a high-scoring team. In their 5 ACC wins, they've averaged 84 points a game.
A couple of tough losses for Louisville, very close ones. They've lost 4 of their last 5. Their last win coming against Virginia, won that one 90-72. There's Woolley on the drive in and a kick out over to Rice. Hokies defense holding strong and a walk. That's the best way that Kenny Brooks wanted his team to start out defensively, almost forcing a shot clock violation and then a turnover. So Georgia Amor leading the way for Virginia Tech at the point guard position.
A great defensive possession right there. And Cayla Trailer drew the duty of guarding Dyaisha Fair.
Well, the Hokies lineup once again showing with Trailer, Taylor Soule, Georgia Amor, Cayla King, and the reigning ACC Player of the Year, Liz Kitley.
They'll have to try to figure out this 1-2-2 zone by Syracuse. They're really good in it, very aggressive for a zone defense.
Offensive rebound to King, a bounce down into a triple team for Liz Kitley. Hokies trying to reset. Here's Kitley. Finds Soule with the athletic drive in, but the defense strong there. And Fair comes away with the ball for the Orange. Here's Georgia Woolley, the sophomore from Australia. 2 players in this game, both from Australia and both named Georgia. So for you folks at home, don't get confused here tonight. Woolley, another transfer coming from Buffalo, brought by Coach Felicia Leggett-Jack. Wilson, got it. So Syracuse takes the lead off of Wilson's move.
We'll hear her say Buffalo transfer multiple times tonight. There are 4 of them on this roster.
Yeah, Syracuse coming into this year with a bit of a reset with Coach Jack. This for Kitley, high bounce, and Rice has it.
Syracuse will do a lot of ball screening, especially out top for Fair.
Fair trying to find separation and draws a foul.
Yeah, a couple early fouls on the backcourt for Virginia Tech. Georgia Amor had one on the last possession, and Cayla Trailer with the foul call right there.
Well, there's Coach Jack, her first season as the Syracuse head coach, and we talked about this with her before the game. This is her dream job, coaching at her alma mater.
Yeah, great player there, the first women's basketball player to have her jersey retired, and she is excited about being back there and very proud to be a Syracuse Orangeman.
Well, a foul called. Liz Kitley not exactly excited about that.
Well, we've managed to get the crowd in the game early, Bailey.
Certainly early enough. Hokies looking for another ACC win. We talked about that bye right at the beginning. Well, Virginia Tech trying to get the first double bye they have ever had as a program. Going into the ACC tournament last year, they did make it to the semifinals. Had to go through North Carolina, who is the number 4 team, and got the win in overtime. But Fair hits the triple.
That's what you'll see. She does not need much room. She can back you off with that little crossover dribble. She just needs a little bit of space.
Well, the defense providing a challenge for the Hokies. Kitley splits the defenders and gets blocked.
Tyra Wood with her length in there. That's why she's in that lineup. A Temple transfer. 8 of the top 10 Syracuse players are transfers.
Now that's going to be a theme we revisit at times tonight. With Syracuse, so many transfers and still trying to contend for a spot in the NCAA tournament. No foul called there, and King pulls up with a steal. Soule to the glass, and the Hokies are on the board.
There's some fast players in the ACC, but I don't know if anyone gets from one end to the other quicker than Taylor Soule.
Yeah, speaking of transfers, the transfer from Boston College has made an immediate impact for the Hokies.
Very experienced player and getting more comfortable all the time in this Virginia Tech offense.
Lob inside to Wood. No good, and Kitley pulls down the defensive board. Amor, bounce feed to Soul, and an offensive foul.
This is exactly why the block charge is the hardest call in college basketball.
There, get a look. What do you think, Mac?
Her second foul. Defense was in a guarding position, but looked like they were moving as she tried to avoid the charge.
Now Soul goes to the bench. Dyaisha Gregg comes in, who's gotten a lot of minutes for the Hokies here in ACC play.
Dyaisha Gregg, the transfer from Georgia Tech, a real cerebral player, really understands the game and has gotten more minutes as the year goes on.
Meanwhile, a great drive by Elena Rice.
The Auburn transfer, she really wants to score. When she gets the ball, look for her to make something happen, and she did it right there, getting all the way to the rim.
And with that basket, already a better game against the Hokies right now than she had last year against Tech. Virginia Tech, got to remember, beat Syracuse at the Carrier Dome by 49 points just a season ago. And Kenny Brooks leading this team in his 7th year as the head coach. Spent a long time at JMU trying to get the Hokies back to yet another NCAA tournament and potentially make a run, as Virginia Tech was bounced in the first round last year against Florida Gulf Coast.
What a job Coach Brooks has done.
Amor joining the scoring party for the Hokies.
Coach Brooks calls her his mini-me. Kenny was a great point guard back in the day for the Dukes up in Harrisonburg.
Georgia Amor has really solidified herself as a leader on this offense and kind of quiet these last 2 games.
Yeah, the season is an up and down thing, and you kind of got to, get everybody headed in the right direction here in February. And first games in February, these are when they really count.
A big slate for Virginia Tech as Cayla King pulls up. Long rebound goes for Fair. Dyaisha Fair starting to cook a little bit here in the first quarter.
That's what you mean by a 3-level score. Long range, mid-range, and all the way to the rim.
Now the Hokies combat the zone. Turnaround for Kitley. Woolley into the front court.
Woolley coming off a great game against Louisville, 20 points.
Dariana Lewis trying to work on Kitley under the hoop. Not an easy shot.
Tough matchup for Kitley. Lewis is very active.
Cayla King thought about it for a second, missed the tray. And Cayla King is, we mentioned Georgia Amor having a slow couple of games. Cayla King following into a similar slump after starting out the season red hot. Foul called. That brings us to a break. Syracuse leading in this one, 9-5. Big ACC matchup here in Blacksburg.
To you, it means.
I thought I was never going to be able to be the head coach at Syracuse. It just never worked out that way. Finally worked out this year.
Yeah, she's so happy to be back there, and Syracuse is happy she is too.
Already off to a good start here, 9-5. Ashley Owusu back in for the first time for Virginia Tech. Remember, she got injured in the ACC Big Ten Challenge game against Nebraska as Dyaisha Gregg gets the bucket. But Owusu trying to get back into game shape, Mac.
Yeah, getting the rust off and figuring out exactly. She was playing well early, still hadn't hit her stride. There's Woolley again.
Woolley putting the Orange up 12-7. And Owusu played in 19 minutes in the win against Virginia.
Such a good player, and she brings a lot of different skill set to Virginia Tech. A good one-on-one player, great passer, strong, athletic. If she can get going, that would be big for Virginia Tech, who's got a really difficult schedule down the stretch. We'll look at that later in the broadcast.
Former All-American from Maryland. King open in the corner. Once again, Fair trying to push the floor. Hokies defense catches up. Woolley, another 3. This time a long air ball. Tipped out of play, and Virginia Tech takes possession.
Woolley was 3 for 7 from long range against Louisville on Sunday, 20 points, and really kind of carried him till Dyaisha Fair got back in the game after being injured. You mentioned the ankle injury early in the game.
Georgia Amor, a little bit of contact there, no whistle. Kennedy Perkins now running the point, Max. Sorry about that, but another player that this Syracuse staff is really excited about, just a freshman from right outside of Chicago.
Career high Sunday in minutes played and points versus Louisville.
Good spin move there for Lewis.
The Alabama A&M transfer. She's got a variety of post moves, and she's a tough matchup. Quicker than bigger players and stronger than smaller players.
This defense for Syracuse, Virginia Tech has not had an easy looking shot. Including right now, Liz Kitley getting bodied and blocked. Woolley's wide open in the corner. Timeout called by Kenny Brooks, and Virginia Tech down 10. Number 13 team in the country trying to figure it out here as we take a break in the first quarter.
Did you know?
Georgia Woolley with 6 points, a couple of big three-pointers, and the last one, Mac, here, this is what prompted Coach Brooks to call a timeout.
Yeah, in transition, you really got to communicate or you leave somebody wide open. This time, unfortunately for Virginia Tech, it was Georgia Woolley who can really stroke the basketball. And yet another Buffalo transfer.
Well, it's just an entire team of transfers. And it takes a good amount of faith to follow your head coach to a brand new league, brand new campus. And so far, so good here in Blacksburg. Virginia Tech is trying desperately to get a three to fall down.
It tells you a lot about Coach Jack's relationship with the young ladies.
Down to the final seconds, and Syracuse blocked yet another shot. Well, the zone has been so strong for Syracuse with 1:30 left in the first quarter.
Not an ordinary zone. Very active, really pushes you out on the floor.
Woolley once again, top of the key, step back. This is the mark, and Greg pulls down a rebound. And now the Hokies with only 1 3 came from Georgia Amor. Dyaisha Gregg drives. Uses the backboard as her friend there, and now Virginia Tech back within single digits.
And Dyaisha Gregg with a couple big baskets for the Hokies, struggling to get going here early in this one.
Letting defenders Fair. Lost the ball. Woolley fought it away. It stays with Syracuse. We take another look here, Matt.
Yeah, from the high post, you can do a lot of things against the zone. That time she put it on the floor, got all the way to the rim, protected the basketball. Really, like we said earlier, a cerebral player, understands the game at a really high level.
And quietly contributes for Virginia Tech. And you can really say it's been quiet all year, except for that North Carolina game where she came up with a couple of big threes. And meanwhile, another turnover forced, and Dyaisha Fair is pretty excited about that.
Yeah, Fair thought she got fouled on the shot. She hung around, and on the outlet pass, she challenged Kiana Traylor, who didn't see her, and forced the travel. Heads-up play by the senior from Rochester, New York.
Oh, a first-team All-MAC selection. Making the jump to potentially the best college basketball conference in the country, and she has fit right in. Waning moments of the first quarter. Virginia Tech has struggled on the offensive end. Another tip pass. King finds Kitley, and one. A little bit of energy for Virginia Tech now with 16.5 left in the first quarter.
Coming off the bench, Dyaisha Gregg has made a big impact for the Hokies against this zone. Right place, right time, playing through the contact with the finish.
Look at the passion from Dyaisha Gregg. 2 big buckets in a row for the Hokies. This is a three. Or misses a free throw, excuse me. Dyaisha Fair working for something at the buzzer, and instead the handoff was not ready for Kyra Wood.
When Syracuse got flat on the baseline and Dyaisha Fair was going to go one-on-one, the Hokies ran at her trying to double-team her, but she got to the rim before the Hokies could get there. But the turnover, the Hokies got a chance for a three-pointer.
Amor at the buzzer. Just rattled off. Syracuse looking good in the first quarter. Coach Jack in the orange in a competitive one against the Hokies as we go to the second.
Well, I'm not 100% sold yet. Okay.
And they've kind of mixed up how the tournament is set up this year, Max. It's a little bit different than last year.
Yeah, the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 are in 2 locations, one on each coast. Greenville, South Carolina being the closest one to us, and of course the Final Four in the state of Texas.
Let's take a look at the bracketology from Charlie Cream. Right now, Virginia Tech picked as a 5 seed. Syracuse, that's why this is such an important game, Mac, because if they win, they open up that consideration again. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech trying to get back into it. They were down 10, now it's only 3.
Anytime you get that offensive rebound and you kick it out, somebody's going to be standing wide open on the perimeter. That time it was Georgia Amor with a big 3 for the Hokies.
7-0 run for Virginia Tech. Leda Rice switches hands on the dribble. The defense for the Hokies hanging tough here in the man-to-man. Woolley hung up a prayer, and that almost went in.
Cayla King, one of the best Hokie perimeter defenders, is now on Woolley. Kayana Traylor back on Fair.
So far, the officiating crew really letting this game continue with the physicality here.
I think that's what happens in February. The games get more and more intense, more and more physical.
Good feed into Kitley. 9-0 run for Virginia Tech. A 17-7 lead has evaporated now to 1 point. Leda Rice looking for someone. That went off the back of Traylor, and that's unlucky for the Hokies guard. Got the roll, a couple of bounces. 19-16, Virginia Tech able to fight back though, Mac, a big bucket here on the 3.
Yeah, offensive rebound, kick it out, quick reversal, Amor before the zone can adjust, and then the nice bounce pass from roommate to roommate. Amor to Kitley.
Georgia Amor and Kitley building on that chemistry for the last few years. Cayla King tying it up for Virginia Tech.
Hokies went 1 for 6 in the first quarter from 3, but 2 quick ones here cut into that margin.
And we see the top scorers on display tonight. Fair can't get the bounce that time.
She got into the lane, but Traylor did a good job of contesting the 2.
There's Traylor, another bounce into Kitley. Well, it seems as if when Kitley is one-on-one, it's going to be tough for Syracuse to stop her. Taking the lead back for Virginia Tech.
Size advantage every time, one-on-one.
There goes that lead of 3 right back in transition. Leda Rice.
She plays with such a great motor, especially when she has the ball in her hands.
There's Amor. Trying to answer with a 3 of her own. And a big rip down for Lewis.
5 on 4.
No good. Gragging the rebound.
Cayla King holding that right arm a little bit.
Here's Amor skirting down the baseline. Free throw line jumper is good for Kitley.
Dyaisha Gregg had the shot, passed it up to give Kitley a wide open jumper at the free throw line. From 15 feet and in, you just don't think Liz Kitley's ever going to miss.
A set foot shooter for the Hokies. When she's not pivoting around in the low block, 55% field goal shooter.
Hokies into the lead.
There's Woolley. Jump ball, and possession arrow stays with Syracuse.
Cayla King dinged up on the other end, but watch this defense. Keep your feet moving, eyes on the ball. Good call, jump ball. Syracuse ball on the baseline, but a good stop by Cayla King.
Oh, Cayla King gets a break. Here comes Taylor Guyman. Pass thrown in. Guyman to the floor, almost making an immediate impact there with a steal, but instead Syracuse keeps it, and it's a shot clock violation.
Taylor Guyman is giving Kenny Brooks some good minutes off the bench. Not a lot of production necessarily, but she ended up having to play in the post against Virginia, in Charlottesville the other day, and she battled her tail off down low.
Well, Guyman has gotten a lot of playing time, especially when we've seen it after Owusu got injured against the Cornhuskers. And Guyman, like you said, there has been production there in those minutes. Gregg for three. She was open. Dyaisha Gregg feeling it so far tonight, and the Hokies have their largest lead at 4 points.
Dyaisha Gregg inside, outside, on the backboard.
Dyaisha Fair with a left-handed roll.
Gosh, she's really an exciting player. If you're a Syracuse fan, if you're a Hokie fan, you're a little disturbed.
Well, it's been an exciting game so far. After Virginia Tech erased that 10-point deficit, there's been way more offense in that first 7 minutes or so.
Rice wants to score.
Tries to do so on Amor and succeeds.
When she gets that basketball, she is thinking, get it to the rim.
So now 26-26, another tie game. Kitley from the elbow, thought about it. Amor's open for three. Offensive board. Now this time the jump ball stays with Virginia Tech. Had a fun one here in Blacksburg, Mac.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of fun for Dyaisha Gregg, the Georgia Tech transfer, here off the baseline penetration, catches it wide open, knocks the bottom out for the Hokies.
We design.
Scoring in this tie game for Virginia Tech with 9, Mac.
The Hokie senior coming off the bench has showed you her diverse skills, catching the basketball inside, driving it to the hole, and then getting teed up from three, knocking it down. She has been the reason the Hokies are back in this basketball game after trailing early.
Yeah, Virginia Tech trailed 17-7. Dyaisha Gregg came back, got that big and one, got the energy juiced a little bit for Virginia Tech. But even with that, still, Syracuse has answered, coming back for the Orange, leading the way in points tonight. Got a couple of players with 7. Who else but Dyaisha Fair and Elena Rice?
Syracuse is relentless on both ends. They just keep coming at you, just like their coach, Coach Jack.
Virginia Tech has tried to drive in a few times tonight. Kyra Wood has been big down low with a couple of big blocks, so name to watch out for the rest of this matchup in the low post.
Elena Rice now at the point of that zone. A little bit different player than Woolley. Not as long, but very active.
Cayla King continues to shoot and scores this time. Nothing but net. That's her second made 3, and the Hokies take the lead.
Hokies 3 for 3 from long range here in this quarter after going 1 for 6 in the opening stanza.
Wow. Look at Fair with the ball handling. Didn't get that much separation, but still knocked down the jumper.
Doesn't need much room. Really skilled.
Fair now with 9 for the Orange. Virginia Tech peppering the passes around the perimeter. Lost the ball. Rice has it.
Kyra Wood again knocking it away. Not a block shot, but she sure created that turnover.
Good step in off the backboard, and now Wood has the offensive rebound. We have mentioned the fact that this has been a back and forth game. Hokies stormed back here in the second quarter. What have you seen different out of the team in maroon and black tonight?
Well, Virginia Tech has figured out what to do against this zone. They're having a little bit more success, a little penetration, and of course, knocking down some threes doesn't hurt anything.
There's Fair, thought, why not?
Can't give her that much room. Dodged a bullet right there.
So final 3 minutes of the first half. Georgia Amore already has 6 for the Hokies. Here's Kitley opening up with a few more 15-footers rather than trying down low. Another turnover, though, and a foul. That's going to be booked on Cayla King.
Yeah, not a good decision by Dyaisha Greg right there, and then that led to the foul also. A little tentative on the pass. And Rice up there at the top. We told you how active she was. She got a hand on it. Fair gets a steal. And then the foul by King.
4th turnover for the Hokies.
They're only one in this quarter. They've cleaned that part of their game up a little bit.
There's Fair doing it by herself in the and one.
Think she's confident. Thinks she can score every time. There's no question.
It seems like Coach Jack is really giving her the green light as well. Fair's the only player that had the possession on this one for Syracuse and tried inside on Traylor.
And Traylor's an outstanding individual defender, but picks up that foul. Hokies have some players on the bench with fouls. Soul's been over there forever.
Now Fair into double figures after that and one. Look at that, 20 plus point games. She's got 10 of them. She's on her way so far here.
Soul and Traylor, 2 really important players for Virginia Tech now on the bench. Guyman in the game, Greg getting extended minutes, and she has played really well, obviously.
Kitley trying to work some out of the double team, no call, and the ball leaks out to Greg. At the buzzer, that's a shot clock violation.
You know, this is a good time to bring up Kelly Gramlich, who does a great job as an analyst in the ACC network, had the Virginia game, and talked about what Kenny Brooks has been talking about, the beating that Liz Kitley takes, and that might have been an example of what she was talking about.
And it does seem like most teams, they know Kitley, they've seen her tape, they're like, let's put a couple of hats down low. And it has been just such a physical toll for Liz Kitley in the last 2 months. And we've seen with some of those scenarios, Mac, where Liz Kitley's getting beat up down low, Coach Brooks, you can see the frustration on the sideline.
Yeah, you know, that's the book. That's how you defend Liz Kitley. Put a lot of bodies around her, get really physical. No, Hokies have to be physical back on, you know, not necessarily with Liz Kitley's play, but they've got to be physical on both ends of the floor because that's the way the game's going to be played here in February and March.
Trying to find buys in the ACC tournament. Syracuse also trying to build its NCAA tournament resume, but Cayla King wants to tie it up here with the old-fashioned 4-point play.
Inside out. The percentage of makes improves so much when that ball goes inside and then back to the perimeter for the shot. There the defense collapses, and Rice gets there just a second too late.
Just like that, all tied up, a 2-possession game taken away in 1 possession. Back we go, 33 all. Back out for Woolley. She's got it. That's her 3rd 3 of the first half.
Playing with so much confidence.
Shot clock still on for the Hokies. About a 4-second differential. Down to King. Kitley turns around and sinks the baseline jumper. You got to think Dyaisha Fair's got the green light for the buzzer beater. She's stripped. Taylor Guyman from midcourt And it's no good, but Syracuse goes into halftime with the lead. Mac, we've got a fun one here in Blacksburg. Orange have played fired-up basketball.
Yeah, there's a lot of firepower on the floor. Both teams getting after it on defense. This has been fun, Bailey.
Athleticism right back into it here in the third quarter. It's been a fun one. Thanks for being along for the ride here. We got 20 more minutes of basketball. Coach Jack and her team trying to knock down the number 13 team in the country, leading by 1 here in Castle Coliseum.
Double high ball screen and then a screen down for Rice. Another high ball screen.
Rice trying to work on Georgia Amore, too short on the jumper. Here comes Taylor Soule crashing down with a rebound.
Yeah, Rice had 7 points in addition to Fair and Woolley's contributions in that first half. She had a big offensive half for the Orange.
And you got to note here, the Orange are without Tisha Hyman as well as Asia Strong, 2 players that get a significant amount of burn for Syracuse. Hyman was able to practice today in that shoot-around. It's going to be a game-time decision. She is not in for Syracuse, and Asia Strong, a lower leg injury, not into this one.
And Tisha Hyman is a great scorer. She averages 11, but capable of those 30-point nights. She's really another dynamic scorer. They're missing her tonight.
9 on the shot clock. He's trying to create some space here. Cayla King's wide open. Taylor Soule tracks down the offensive board. That's going to be big for Virginia Tech, having Taylor Soule back into the lineup and creating that shot for Liz Kitley.
Yeah, offensive rebounds is one of the things she does best for this Hokie basketball team.
Kitley now to double figures with 10.
Soule is number 2 in the ACC with 73 offensive rebounds.
That went in somehow.
And
wow.
And Traylor gets called for that foul. She may be headed back to the bench as Greg gets her warm-up off. Straight up, I don't see any contact right there.
That's a tough call. Woolley fired up, taking the lead right back for Syracuse.
Woolley, we saw her do it from 3-point range in the first half. Now the old-fashioned 3-point opportunity.
Rattles off, no good. So staying a 1-point game, lots of lead changes in this one. There has been 3 ties. Soule lost the ball, picked it back up.
Hokies had some luck with that in the first half with Dyaisha Greg.
And a walk. Carla Fountain blowing the whistle on Georgia Amore.
Hokies with a big lineup now with Greg, Soule, and Kitley across the front line, joining Amore and King.
Wood, an entry lob, clonks off of the rim, and the Hokies pull it away.
It's a really physical game. I know you've talked about it before, Bailey, but it bears repeating.
There's Soule with a long 2. Georgia Amore hits the deck.
Fair is always attacking.
Here comes Fair, look for the layup, no good. And Cayla King pulls down the board. So still a 1-point game. Syracuse, this would be huge for their NCAA tournament roster. As for the Hokies, trying to string wins together to move into potentially 4th. And now they move into the lead at 39-38.
Now again, if you can move people around and get Kitley one-on-one somewhere in that key, you got a really good chance of coming up with a basket. Cayla King doing a good job on the defensive glass, pursuing that basketball.
Well, Cayla King now with 5 rebounds. Stays under the basket. Kitley, we have mentioned the fact that she has gotten beaten up. Sanaya Wilson contacted her before the break, but a good turnaround there, man.
Yeah, really nice. Again, one-on-one. She's got such a size advantage most nights, and certainly here against the Orange, where the biggest player they have is Kyra Wood at 6'3".
You see last season for Kitley, 24 points, had 11 rebounds. When you look at the end of that game, the Hokies won 102 to 53. It's a bit closer tonight, but the Hokies now up 4. Georgia Amor hits the triple.
Kenny Brooks is so good on baseline out of bounds. How many times have we seen Liz Kitley on the backside or Georgia Amor coming in, getting that handoff?
Amor now has 9 for Virginia Tech. Jump shot for Fair, and now we'll go to the line for 2.
Here's the out of bounds play. See Soul go to the corner, get the ball in bounds, hand off. Syracuse too late.
Oh, the Hokie fans voicing their displeasure with that call.
It appears they disagree.
Yeah. Dyaisha Fair, a 81% free throw shooter.
Yeah, she does it all on the offensive end. Leads them in assists, 3rd in the league in scoring, 2 in the league in three-point percentage.
And that's a big miss. Soul pulls down the rebound.
And number 2 in the ACC in steals. Syracuse mixes it up a little 2-3 zone instead of the 1-2-2. They thought the Hokies had solved the 1-2-2 for a little bit.
Good toss out to Taylor Soul. Can't get the board for Kitley, though. Misses the backboard shot. 42-39. Virginia Tech's largest lead in this game has been 4. Syracuse 10. Fair followed her own shot. Can't get that one to fall. Tie up points the way of Virginia Tech, but now it looked like Virginia Tech thought that maybe a foul was about to be called on them. Not sure the confusion there, man.
Yeah, there was a little action after the jump ball was called. I think that's what Kitley was objecting to. Here's the jump ball. Now watch this.
That's Kyra Wood. It's been a physical matchup. Comes Soul from the elbow. Trying to find Woolley out in the corner. Too short on the baseline jumper, thrown back in play, and it's Virginia Tech ball.
There's a lot going on down there in that corner.
Staying tight here, 42-39.
How's that for some analysis?
That's why they pay you the big bucks, Mac. Looks like we might have a clock issue here. The officials are trying to rectify, but in the meantime, Coach Jack looking on from Syracuse, talking to her team, and that'll bring us to a break here. 42-39, still locked in here in the third quarter.
Did you know one of Nissan's EVs survived the North
Venue host tonight. Well, it's just been an awesome celebration of girls and women in sports here today. It's been one great basketball game to go along with it.
I wonder why things were going so smoothly. What a great job.
45-41 right before the break. Perkins hit a foul, or hit an and one. Missed that free throw, though. So now the Hokies lead by 4. They trailed by 1 going into the halftime break.
We talked about Perkins, Syracuse in that 2-3 zone now rather than the 1-2-2. But Perkins coming off her best game. Played 24 minutes, scored 7 points against Louisville. And was playing with a lot of confidence. Coach Jack really likes her.
Comes Kennedy Perkins, the freshman, on the drive. Back-to-back and ones for the freshman.
She made contact there. Had Georgia Amor on her heels a little bit.
Well, Syracuse was down 7, storming back here with Perkins getting some quality minutes off of the bench. This time hits the free throw.
And normally Perkins kind of rests Fair, and Fair doesn't stay out of the game very long, but Perkins is playing so well, they're in the game together now.
Interesting look here for Syracuse. Kiana Traylor, who we spotlighted at the beginning of the game, a little quiet for the Hokies. And Kitley draws a foul. Dariana Lewis, the grad student, a transfer from Alabama A&M.
She's been very animated all game long, and she's a really active, undersized post player. Let's see right here. Couldn't quite see it from that angle.
It was a bit different. I mean, we were at halftime. Only 3 free throws. And Kitley misses the first. And for the Hokies this year, a 73% free throw shooter.
Yeah, just the 3rd free throw for the Hokies tonight. I'm sure Kenny Brooks has mentioned that on, when the officials are passing him by over there. What do you think?
I think so. 3 in transition. Another air ball, but a foul called on Soul. So that is Virginia Tech's 5th foul. So that's a bonus coming up for Syracuse.
Here's the air ball. Here's Soul with the box out on the backside. Wow.
I don't know about that one. So Rice goes to the line. She's 78% from the charity stripe this year and hits the first one.
One thing you want as a coach, you just want the game to be officiated consistently. And that may or may not have been a consistent call right there.
Meanwhile, for Taylor Soul, that's her 3rd foul. Take a look at some of the Hokies in foul trouble. 3 pivotal players, Traylor, Soul, and Amore, all with 3. Cayla King with a pivotal player herself. She's got 13, but 2 fouls to go with it. And Fair able to get the layup to go, taking the lead right back for Syracuse.
Yeah, we told you she's 2nd in the ACC in steals. She doesn't do it just with the basketball. She can steal it too.
Now a bit of a run here for Syracuse after going 4 minutes without a basket. Back and forth we go on the free throw line. Gregg pulls down the board. 3 orange players near her. Still curled around and found Kitley. A great effort by Dyaisha Gregg.
Yeah, Kitley missed that initial jumper, but I like her a little bit away from the basket, kind of right in the middle of the lane right there. She's really dangerous from that spot, and a real hard place for the orange to double team her right there.
Dyaisha Gregg. Seemed like she was in the wrong place at the wrong time for that foul.
Yep. One of those, I didn't mean to, but you did run into her. And this is a long time for Syracuse to be in that 2-shot situation.
Yeah, almost 3 minutes of basketball left in the 3rd quarter. And trying to wipe up the floor, Taylor Soul and Carla Fountain exchanging a few words. A couple of free throws coming up here for Dyaisha Fair, who has 15. Can't get the roll, falls off the back end of the basket.
I think we're going to see an engaged crowd here in the finish of the 3rd quarter and into the 4th quarter.
That's been a
It's
tight
a
game.
good game.
Yeah. Tight game thanks to Dyaisha Fair and company. She misses both free throws, and it goes back to Virginia Tech. Well, looks like some words.
Yeah, Lewis has had words with everybody. I think she's
right.
She's very, like we said, she's pretty animated out there. She uses that emotion to her advantage too. She's a very active player on both ends of the floor.
Well, Lewis has shown the emotion, but we've been with Syracuse most of the day here. Even when they were warming up for this game, Coach Jack put them into an awesome pep talk saying, we're going to play to just believe in each other, and they certainly look like they have here. Locked in with the number 13 team in the country. They had them riled up today. That was tipped away, and it goes to Syracuse. Kennedy Perkins has put together a really productive 3rd quarter for Syracuse.
Yeah,
and a chance to take the lead here.
Giving them some good minutes right there. Yeah, they talked a lot about that blue-collar work ethic, that blue-collar attitude. Perkins again, misses the shot, but hustles after it.
Meanwhile, Syracuse has been pretty cold from the field here in the third quarter, which has allowed this game to stay pretty close. Look at Fair backing down on Traylor. Kitley turns around. You're right, Mac. One-on-one. Liz Kitley's hard to beat and takes the lead back for Tech.
You know what that means.
Now Kitley has 17. Foul call down low. This time it's on Lewis.
Yeah, she earned that one. She was backing Kitley down. And finally with a one big push.
Liz Kitley satisfied with the call. So is the crowd.
Coach Jack talking to Lewis, trying to make sure she stays calm. She can be a big part of this game down the stretch.
Well, we did note that Lewis looked bothered on the last couple of possessions. Now taking her out. See if the Hokies can capitalize. Gregg misses the layup. Rebound pulled down by Wood.
Great penetration by King, but couldn't get the finish for the Hokies.
And now a foul call on Virginia Tech. Well, this has been a fired-up team for Syracuse, a team that has really leaned into that blue-collar attitude and that hard hat mentality. So the idea came to work, did the job. They give a hard hat out starting around the middle of the season, Mac, to a player that really excelled in a win for the Orange.
Yeah, not necessarily points or rebounds, but does do all the little things. And Coach Jack got the idea from Nate Oates, who's the Alabama basketball coach, when he was at Buffalo with Coach Jack.
Well, certainly Syracuse with that really blue-collar work ethic has kept Virginia Tech and the Orange in a tight ball game. Fair, a big part of the reason why. She's got 16. Minute left in the third quarter.
The Hokies limited right now where they don't really have but 2 3-point threats on the floor, although Soul can make a shot out there.
Kiana Traylor followed her own shot. Bounce pass into Gregg. Gregg feeds Soul.
Dyaisha Gregg's had a couple turnovers, but she's had some beautiful interior passes too.
7 assists for Dyaisha Gregg.
Soul matched up against Fair right here. That's a really interesting matchup.
No good. Dyaisha Gregg, another rebound. Soul going one-on-one, and instead backs up once help. Hokies hold for the last shot.
Very smart play. Take the last shot. She could have forced the issue right there. Soul was really good in the open floor.
Down to 4 seconds. Traylor for 3 at the buzzer. Too hard. Well, we'll go to the fourth quarter. It's a fun one in Blacksburg. Number 13 team in the nation leads by 2.
Did you know one of Nissan's EVs survived the North Pole?
And one can go 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. And they're all emission-free. But don't get in.
We look at North Carolina beating Virginia, Florida State. Well, it's been impressive what the Seminoles have been able to do this year.
Tonight a lot, and the freshman is just really special. Brooke Wyckoff in her first year as the head coach down there. Officially the head coach. She was the interim coach for a year, or acting coach for a year.
That's a team the Hokies have yet to play. Virginia Tech in the remaining schedule has to play North Carolina and Duke again. And Florida State as well.
Hokies jumped in a 2-3 zone that time. First time they've shown it to Syracuse tonight.
Well, I forgot to mention NC State. So that is not going to be easy for Virginia Tech. But now trying to get a win here against Syracuse that has been gritty the entire matchup. No whistle blown there. Lena Rice lost the ball. Trailer turns around now. Track meet to the backboard and one.
Soul is so fast. We saw her pull it out at the end of the third quarter, but this time she knew she was going to the rack. And what a good pass by Trailer, the left-hander.
Now the southpaw feeding it inside. Taylor Soul, who's got 3 fouls, has been hampered by that foul trouble throughout the game. Didn't let it stop her there. That's a big bucket for the Hokies.
Soul's only played 14 minutes in this game, and she's 76% free throw shooter trying to get the three-point play.
Well, the Hokies have not gone deep into the bench. We saw Ashley Owusu there in the first half. I've not seen her in the second.
Hokies have only been to the free throw line 5 times tonight.
Wow.
Syracuse has been there 12 times. And we've seen the physicality of this game with our own eyes.
There's a walk called. Coach Jack not excited about that. Fiery.
The freshman with the mistake right there. But she's played some quality minutes here for Coach Jack in this second half.
Yeah, for Syracuse there in the third quarter, Mac, we had talked about it. They only hit 4 field goals, but it seemed as if every one of those was for an and one.
Yeah, but still shot 26%. Despite that, they were still in this basketball game.
Amore had an opening. Cayla King pulls down the offensive board. Trailer steps.
They called a foul. Offensive foul on Liz Kitley down low, trying to post up.
That's our first personal foul. First team foul in the quarter.
I think the officials are trying to make sure they keep this thing clean. There's Kitley. When she extended that left arm, that's when the foul got called.
What a big win this would be for Syracuse's postseason resume.
This could be a big win for either one of these teams.
Virginia Tech trying to win 2 games in a row. Loose ball, who's got it? Hokies do.
And even on that one, there was a lot of contact going on down low. No place for the faint of heart in this game, Bailey.
Yeah, that battle between Kyra Wood and Liz Kitley has been fun to watch. Because of that defensive pressure, has forced the Hokie center to go a bit outside. Now she hit the floor hard there. Now she'll go to the line for 2.
We've not seen Lewis back in the game since. See right here, Wood, if she had stayed straight up, she'd have been fine, but she went forward with her arms and her body, sending Kitley to the free throw line.
Now Kitley goes to the line. She's only been to the charity stripe once.
Kenny Brooks has kind of nursed this thing to this point with the people in foul trouble, but now he has the group that he wants on the floor out here together with 7.5 minutes left in the game.
You know, all the players out there right now, except for Liz Kitley, have 3 fouls. Kitley only has 1. Another missed free throw for Kitley. And missed them both. So the Hokies have not been to the line that many times tonight and are 2-7 from the line. In the meantime, Syracuse 7 of 12. Perkins for 3. Hard fought rebound for Soul.
Yeah, a lot of contact again. Soul comes away with it, plays so hard. A good battle right there with Sanaya Wilson, another Buffalo transfer.
Yeah, it's really impressive the fact that Syracuse has been competitive. And Coach Jack will admit we should have a few more wins because we played such tight games with all the transfers on the floor. Georgia Amore's been at Virginia Tech the entire time. That feels like a humongous 3, putting the Hokies up by 7.
And just like against Louisville a couple weeks ago, Georgia Amore made a few big shots in that final quarter. Maybe doing it again for the Hokies.
Kennedy Perkins trying to answer with a 3 of her own. Goes to Virginia Tech. Georgia Amore now in double figures. That's her 4th three of the night.
Ball screen by Soule, frees up Amore, right in rhythm. A lot of contact even on the ball screen right there.
Cayla King from pro length. She gets fouled and will go to the line for 3 shots.
Yeah, the freshman Perkins with another mistake right there. You cannot foul the jump shooter. Cardinal rule, cannot foul him. Golden rule, cardinal sin, whatever you want to call it. Mix your metaphors.
Well, how about this, Mac? If Cayla King hits a free throw here, that would be the largest lead of the game for Virginia Tech. They've led by as much as 7, now 8. So if this is a positive trip to the line for the Hokies, this is pretty huge for Virginia Tech to go up by potentially 9 or 10.
You know, when you think about the foul trouble the Hokies have been in, it's pretty amazing that they're in this situation.
Huge trip to the line for Cayla King. She had not scored in double figures since New Year's Day against North Carolina, but today she has 16.
2-3 zone by the Hokies. Only a couple possessions of this.
Amore got an arm in there. Here comes Taylor Soule, the fastest player on the floor, showcasing a big layup there. Timeout, Syracuse. Brings us to a break. Tech up big here with 6 minutes left.
Did you know one of Nissan's EV...
Hokies have jumped up by 12. Look at this big play, Mac. Taylor Soule really showcasing the athleticism there.
Such a good defensive player. They've even put her on Dyaisha Fair some in this second half. But when she gets in the open court, she is so fast to the other end, it's hard for the defense to cut her off. 8 points and 4 rebounds in just 17 minutes tonight because of the foul trouble.
Now for Virginia Tech, Taylor Soule presents such a big problem for opposing defenses. And right now with 8 points, but that layup just felt huge. Georgia Amore's 3. Cayla King going to the line and hitting all 3 free throws. Hokies rolling now 62-50. Largest lead of the game.
Hokies in the 2-3 zone. They have to know where Fair is. They have to know where Woolley is.
Woolley has had a very quiet second half. Dyaisha Fair with 17 points that leads Syracuse.
Syracuse has gone back to that 1-2-2 that they played for most of the game.
Got a piece of it. Kitley under the basket.
Very quietly has she got 19 points and 9 rebounds.
Right. Syracuse seems to be reeling at the moment. Georgia Amore telling the team to slow down, 64-50. In a game that's been tight from the jump, Virginia Tech trailed at one point 17-7. Taylor Soule, what a move. Another old-fashioned three-point play, a possibility here.
She's got those fresh legs from sitting on the bench for so long. She is making up for lost time. That's nice. Catch it at the elbow, rip it, and go.
Taylor Soule, the addition of her in the offseason, that's what got a lot of people to start focusing on Virginia Tech. Could be an ACC contender, could be a team built for an NCAA run between her and Ashley Owusu. And it's been unfortunate for Virginia Tech that Owusu hasn't been able to be utilized because of her injury. Fair trying to get the Orange back into it, and Coach Jack has called a timeout.
Yeah, and with Fair on the floor, you can't ever relax because she can score in bunches.
Fair had a great game, even dealing with an injury against Louisville. And now tonight with 20 points, yet another 20-point game.
And the Hokies were running back into that 2-3 zone, a little bit confused as to who was going to stop the basketball right there between Amore and King. And Fair doesn't need much room, as we've seen earlier this evening.
And that's her 11th game with 20 or more points this season. And with 5 minutes left, it seems that Dyaisha Fair is not done. It's a lot of time left for Syracuse to make this interesting.
Yeah, we haven't seen Syracuse press a lot tonight, but you'll see it now. You'll see them a little 1-2-2 like they are now. You'll see them a little 2-2-1. Sometimes they're more aggressive. Sometimes they want to speed the game up. Sometimes they're just trying to get you to slow down and disrupt your offense.
Running the shot clock down now to 7. There's Cayla King. Wow.
That's a perfect offensive possession when you're up 13 with 4 minutes to go in the game.
Oh, Cayla King back on the scene for Virginia Tech with 19 points. Dish inside and a hard-fought bucket for Lewis, who returns from the bench.
Yeah, Lewis was on the bench for a while after she got kind of emotional, but a really nice play right there by the undersized 4-man.
Cayla King, though, 19 points. She had struggled in a few games on the offensive end, and we talked about what she adds defensively. Well, the offense back tonight for a player from North Carolina. On board for Seoul. Syracuse ball.
Yeah, Traylor didn't really need to force the issue right there. She thought she could drive by the defender, but she could have just waited right here. No numbers, no real advantage, 1-on-3. Just a little bit of a careless mistake by the Purdue transfer.
Oh, the double team, tough ball, and swatted out of bounds. Kitley turning in another double-double performance. Pulls down her 11th rebound. Pressure on now for Syracuse. 3.5 minutes to go.
That's what you want to do. When they're picking up full court, you need to attack it. Then if you have numbers, go ahead and score. If you don't have the numbers, pull it out and run clock.
There's Amor from the free throw line.
She has developed into a real 3-level scoring threat.
Oh, Amor now with 14 points. Another player relatively quiet in the last couple of games after really turning it up at the beginning of the ACC season.
You know, when you're the focus of a lot of defense, and sometimes it can be a little bit of a struggle, but in the end of games where they need big shots, even when she's been struggling, Georgia has really played well.
Well, it's interesting who has stepped up for the Hokies. We started off the broadcast talking about Kiana Traylor at 25 against Virginia. She has no baskets so far tonight.
She's had a lot of work on the defensive end, though.
Amor needs some help, finds it in Traylor. And the largest lead of the ball game for Virginia Tech at 16. The lead almost got bigger there, but a foul called down low. That is on Lewis. Her 4th foul.
And she had a little something to say to the official again. He didn't act like he liked it. Let's take a look here. Yeah, that's plenty of foul right there, plenty of contact. Sending Kitley to the free throw line.
It's been a frustrating night for Lewis.
Elena Rice trying to calm her teammate down.
Well, Kitley, who does have 19, has really struggled from the free throw line tonight. Been off 1 for 5.
Yeah, Hokies 5 for 12 overall. Hadn't been there much, and they haven't done well when they have been there.
Timeout called. So Liz Kitley now with 20 points for Virginia Tech. Well, this game went into halftime with Syracuse leading 36-35. Virginia Tech made some adjustments, now enjoying a 17-point lead over Syracuse.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember. I don't think Kitley scored in the first quarter, and here she sits with 20 and 11, another double-double, both numbers above her averages. And, yeah, we had some discussion earlier in the day about Player of the Year. She answers a lot of questions every single night, doesn't she?
ACC preseason player of the year. She was the ACC player of the year a season ago. And we've talked about it. February is really where it gets super tough for a lot of these ACC teams. And this Virginia Tech team and Syracuse team will face a gauntlet of really talented rosters moving further and closer to March. But for Liz Kitley to play this well is very encouraging for Virginia Tech.
Good play. Coach Jack draws up out of the timeout. In transition, the trailer jump shot by Woolley.
A steal. Woolley lays it right back up.
And again, we talked about them to have a chance to set their pressure up.
Crossing midcourt, Georgia Amore backs out of trouble, finds herself back into it, and it's Virginia Tech ball.
Coach Jack wants him to take a look at that in the last 2 minutes.
That Coach Jack looked like she wanted to pull up from the sideline.
Well, she does have her jersey retired. She might still be able to hoop a little bit.
Let's take a look at this. Minute 49, and you think about the fact with Syracuse having 2 timeouts, it could advance the ball in some of these pivotal possessions. So let's get another look here.
As we suspected, they were looking for the out-of-bounds call.
Yeah, let's see if Syracuse has a point.
It looks like it goes off Woolley's foot, doesn't it?
All right, looks like it goes off of that purple shoe from that angle. It's still pretty close, but at least from the initial look, looked like it was off of Woolley.
Make sure you get it right. You know, with the 3-point shot, 12 points is doable in 1 minute and 49 seconds.
No, Syracuse has fought hard, had a pretty stagnant third quarter. Hokies storm back. They've led by as much as 17 points. But Cuse getting 5 points quickly there from Woolley off of the 3, and then the steal. Taking quite a while to look at this. So right now the call is it's Virginia Tech ball.
The Hokies have a 20-10 advantage scoring here in the fourth quarter. This is the way the conference games are going to be. You know, you talked about Virginia Tech's schedule. Take another angle look. We've had great angles.
Yeah, that's off of Woolley, right?
Yeah. To me, that's off of the, I think it's a blue shoe. I don't think it's a purple shoe.
Oh, okay. Indigo, can we settle for indigo?
I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think so, but you can go with it if you need
Okay.
to.
And the call stands.
18 on the shot clock. Syracuse has not come out of the zone. They've played some 2-3. They've played some 1-2-2.
So they do add a couple of seconds to the game clock. It's to 150. And the shot clock at 19.
19, yep. And unless it's a layup, I'd be surprised if the Hokies shoot before this gets into single digits.
As you suspected, Amore trying to go out of a trap, and a turnover called. Wow.
That's not going to be popular.
All right, Kenny Brooks is irate. I don't know, Mac.
I don't know if you could call carrying. It's certainly not a double dribble.
Well, clock moves into 1:34. It's been a testy matchup.
Yeah, between the fans and the officials.
Right. Well, both teams have been pretty
upset.
Loud. They've been loud about what they've thought about these calls.
Yeah.
Under the basket, 3 Hokies there. Loose ball. Here comes Amore. Trailer. What a good feed.
Beautiful play. 3-on-1. The one extra pass, got the layup. Uncontested.
Oh, when Virginia Tech starts moving like that, Hokies are dangerous. There's an air ball. And a foul call down low on Cayla King.
Yeah, Cayla King and the block out on the backside. Only the third foul for the Hokies.
What a difference it was from the third quarter. Syracuse got into the bonus with about 3.5 minutes left. Well, the Hokies right now, not that they would like to give fouls, but they have a couple. Whoa! Off of the back of Cayla King. Heads up play by Elena Rice. Nifty move for the Orange. Will it be enough, though, with a minute left?
This is getting a little bit, well, it's not getting physical. It's been physical. I'll change my mind.
Well, before the foul called on Woolley. Whoa. Did you ever draw that one up?
Sports Center. No, I had some players think of it. I wasn't smart enough for that.
Amor misses the free throw. Still a very long shot for Syracuse. Back up to a 13-point lead.
He's doing a good job of driving Syracuse off that three-point line.
There's Rice. A couple of great moves, back-to-back possessions for Syracuse. Down to 11. Timeout called by the Orange. Just the 32nd timeout. Oh, Virginia Tech in a tough one here. 44 seconds away if they can hold on and improve to 18-4. But look at this. Got to play the Wolfpack twice, Duke again, and North Carolina on the road. And Florida State.
Ranked.
Wow.
What a gauntlet to run for the Hokies.
NC State, a team that Virginia Tech has really played in close games in the past few years. North Carolina, the Hokies beat the Tar Heels on New Year's Day here at Castle Coliseum. Will it be a different story at Carmichael Arena closer to the end of the season?
And we'll get a rematch, the Duke game here in 2 weeks. You and I will be on the call.
I can't wait. That Blue Devils game is going to be huge.
They got after the Hokies in Durham.
There's a baseball pass down the floor. Trailer running the route. Foul called.
Rice protested too much. Finally, they crossed the line with the officials. Rice has been a peacemaker, but she wasn't on this one.
Yeah, Syracuse has voiced its frustration throughout this matchup between Lewis and Rice.
Yeah, both teams have been very frustrated.
So Trailer, looked like she was ready to go to the line. Another conference here. This second half has been kind of long, Mac, because we've had a good amount of conferences, reviews, stuff like this.
You get paid by the hour, though, right?
Well, you know, I'm doing this for free.
You're a good man, Bailey
Okay.
Angle.
Yeah. All right, let's look at this technical.
Okay.
So Rice, extra words there.
Yeah.
And Carla Fountain comes in and calls the technical.
Yeah, the officials have been close to that line all night, and apparently Elena Rice, the Auburn transfer, finally crossed the line. And like you said, both teams have been frustrated. But again, this is what conference games are going to look like in the month of February and on into the tournament in March.
And Rice has played a good game.
She's really played well.
13 points. She's gone 50% from the field.
And she's been the one calming her teammates down, you know, in a lot of situations tonight. But Rice has been really outstanding.
So the Hokies look like they are going to shoot 2 for the technical and then 2 for the personal foul.
And then we're at the point of interruption, so it'll be Virginia Tech ball on the baseline.
At the line for your
So for Syracuse down 11, this might finally just put a nail in it here. Got a trailer looking for her first points of the night.
Isn't that unbelievable? She
Right.
had 25 against Virginia, and again, she's played well, but most of that's been on the defensive end, and she has contributed on the offensive end, just not in terms of putting the ball in the basket.
Now she's scored.
She got 5 assists.
It's both free throws. So now coming into effect, the personal foul here.
To number 25, Elena Rice, her third personal foul. Trailer, shooting 2.
Oh, 2 more. And she missed that one. A tough moment for Rice. This is a Syracuse team that has played very strongly, has kept Virginia Tech on its toes throughout this matchup. Now the Hokies keep the ball with 43.2 seconds left. More dribbling out of pressure. Some of that trap pressure has backed off a bit with the orange here. Going inside, picked away. Shot clock now off. Too long of a pass. Amor is there. And the Hokies are going to move on to 18-4 with their 8th ACC win. A game that Virginia Tech trailed at halftime, storming back with a 26-14 fourth quarter. And the Hokies win this one 78-64.
Yeah. Coach Brooks talking to us at practice today talked about how they needed to be physical and answer the physicality on both ends of the floor. I think they certainly did that. But when we looked at the standings in the beginning, that was the important piece. Virginia Tech still alive for a